bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Appreciate you hanging with us on a Wednesday. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Chris Snead, Brennan Riker, yours in the First United Bank studio. Got some fresh conference championship odds out from the people out west. We'll get to those coming up a little bit later. Hint, Texas Tech is no longer in first place to win the league for the Big 12. Tell you who has supplanted them by a little bit. But right now,
do any of those off-season, preseason rankings factor into the actual end of the year who goes to Arlington?
As far as Vegas goes, no.
Then why would I care?
You may not care, but there are those that do care.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's my thought process.
That's fine.
Why would I care?
That is mostly why I'm saving it for when you're not.
I know.
In the studio.
I appreciate that.
So, but you obviously care about this. This is Pete Nakos, who has made a name in the last, year or so with On3. He's become one of the more popular college football reporters.
The muck rack is what this loon does.
Pete Nakos did not say this quote himself, but he did decide to include it from an anonymous source.
You know what? If it's anonymous, until your anonymous source unanonymouses themselves, it's made up. You made it up.
Hold on.
I'm calling you a liar, Pete Nakos.
How do we spell unanonymous?
Nah, that's a made-up word.
Well, we're going to figure it out for a horse name.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you don't know what we're talking about, we actually, Rob put together a story up at doubleTSportsNetwork.com if you want to see that particular one. But its sources claim that it takes a 30% Lubbock tax, essentially, to recruit anyone to Texas Tech. So the story from Pete Nakos at On3 Sports essentially talks about who spent the most in college football, and talks about how Texas Tech spent north of $28 million on this roster. North of $28 million. What's hilarious about this is there's one ahead of Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And it's the Texas Longhorns, who their fans have trashed Texas Tech for spending too much money on a roster. Their fans have gone all over about it.
Yeah,
it's okay for them to do it, but
that's you're my entire issue with this. Nobody had a single thing to say about the amount of money. Remember when Nigel Pack got $800,000 from Miami? Nobody said a word.
Over 2 years, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. No one said a word. Nobody said a word.
I think it was
Remember when Quinn Ewers rolls up to UT's football stadium in a Bugatti? Nobody said a thing. But poor old Texas Tech, the backward ass country blanks out there in West Texas, they spend some money on a pitcher, and oh my God, everything's wrong with this is what's wrong with college sports now. Why is that? Because the team that spent 2 times what Texas Tech did just got beat by them? So this isn't about Texas Tech spending a lot of money. This entire thing is 1,000% about the fact that somebody who's not invited to the ball is in there doing it with all the big boys. Nobody says, how much is Alabama spending this year? Anyone ask that? How much is Georgia spending this year? Anyone know how much Tennessee is spending this year? Because as far as I can tell, they're probably spending just as much. I mean, I know we have the list here, the top 10. Well, we can see some of those.
The top 10 list was Tennessee at 9. Bama's actually not in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Auburn is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Texas 1, Tech 2, Ohio State, who, by the way, bought their national championship last year, 3.
Yeah.
Oregon 4, Texas A&M 5, tied with Miami. USC and Michigan tied at 7. Tennessee 9 and Auburn 10. There is one of these, if we're playing the Sesame Street game.
Yeah, one of these does not belong here.
Does not belong. It's Texas Tech.
Exactly, and that's the entire problem that people like Pete and Akos have. And they're like, well, wait a second, who are these guys think they are? You're supposed to be down there fighting it out with Mountain West teams for recruits. You shouldn't be winning recruiting battles against Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Michigan. You shouldn't be doing that. Well, what's going on? They must be paying some kind of tax to get kids to come out to Lubbock, Texas. And so all of a sudden now there's a 30% West Texas Lubbock tax to get people to come here. Give me a break.
For that is where Pete Nakos and his subjective or his piece on a subjective ranking, which he asked 17 coaches, recruiting staffers, administrators, and agents. Which 10 programs do you believe spent the most money to build their roster? So that's not even an accurate list necessarily. That's the subjective guess at it list from staffers, administrators, that sort of thing, coaches. Nakos, I don't think he has any sort of agenda against Texas Tech. He is in it to get clicks, and he knows Texas Tech fans and others will click when you post a headline saying that they have to pay 30% more to get the guys because of location. And he says, a source said.
Who's your source, Pete? Because until you produce your source, I think you made it up. I think you just made that thing up.
30% more. Look, do you have to pay more? Do you have to pay over what Texas has? Possibly. You might. I don't have a problem with that reality. But to say that no one wants to come to Lubbock, Texas, unless you give them 30% more than the next school over offering the same thing?
Because if that's the case, then why would I just say, I don't want to go to Texas Tech so bad, I would just go somewhere else and play for 30% less.
The common theme I've gotten from every player I've had a chance to talk to, media days or otherwise, the new guys, is holy cow, I did not know this was here in Lubbock, Texas. And part of it is your facilities here, which you get one person to step into those facilities, you're not having to pay extra.
So here, let me say something. And I've been in a lot of big time SEC, Big 12 football facilities. And it's not even close. Texas Tech's football facility, it's not even close, guys. It's better than Bama's. It's better than Tennessee's. I was just in Florida's last year. It's better than Florida's by a long way. Florida and places like that, A&M's building stuff to match yours. Right now, A&M's building stuff to match yours. And if you think that, well, we're just all shucks, Texas Tech, we got a lot of that out here in West Texas. You know, I mean, and I love that West Texas attitude, that humble, West Texas attitude. But when it comes to sports, we got to drop the all shucks. Why would we do that? We need to just be Texas Tech and be happy to be here. Remember when Spike Dykes said that? Well, I'm glad to be in the same field with those guys. I'm not. I want to beat their tails.
Yeah,
I want to break my foot off in their rear ends, and then send them out of town with a big L on their butt.
Yeah, things have changed a little in 30 years.
No, I know. But we still have some folks that maintain that same attitude. That we just all shucks. We just glad to be here.
There is nothing humble about your South End Zone or your new football facility.
That's a big giant middle finger to the rest of the conference.
It is palatial.
Good. I hope they look at it and go, wow, look at that thing. Wish we had one of those things.
So, but that's the common thing. You may have to offer a solid number out there to get guys to town. There's not much selling that happens once you get in town.
You get them here. I've heard that from many, many people.
And this was before you had a facility.
Lubbock's one of those places, if you can get a kid here, they ain't leaving without signing on the dotted line. Because Lubbock, the community, this town has been trashed by everybody in the world. And if so many people are trying to trash you, you got to wonder, what are you doing right? That people want to make sure you don't come out here to see it. And that's what I've asked that question to people that say those things. What are we doing so right out there that you don't want anyone to come out here? You got a guy like that grew up here, down there in Fort Worth, trashing this town, trashing the people, trashing our program.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes.
I'm not gonna say his name.
I just said it. because that's exactly who it is and has been. I think
know who
that
it was.
I think that Rob points out, and go check out the article at doubleTsportsnetwork.com, but points out some good stuff, including this isn't just in a tossing money around situation.
Lubbock's a great place to be. Hey, the facilities, outstanding. The people in this town, outstanding. The community. I live as far away from my job in this town, and if I hit every light on the way, it takes me 18 minutes to get to work. If I stop and get a smoothie, it takes me 20.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score. 107 The Score mobile app, doubleTsportsnetwork.com, or watchable on television, Fox 34 News Now. You can watch us on YouTube, the app, the Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, whatever you got. Lots of ways to take us in, and however you're doing so, we're glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Wednesday afternoon. Jamie Lent joins us in the First United Bank studio. I'm Chois Woodman. Brennan Riker still crashing the party as well. Y'all can hit us up if you'd like to. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, more than welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app, which you can take anywhere with you. Even listen in if you are out in Recluse, Wyoming.
Okay. Sounds like a nice place.
For you, yeah.
If it's reclusive, yeah.
I'm sure you would love it. How are you today, Jamie?
I are great.
Are you now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've covered some territory. We've talked about the besmirching of Lubbock and or Texas Tech by some source in Pete Nakos' story. I don't know if you had seen that, but Rob wrote up a piece on it up at doubleTsportsnetwork.com for anybody interested. Seeing a different side to it.
Do you think it's besmirching as like it's dogging Lubbock, or it's just saying that it's not close to a major city?
Oh, I think it's dogging Lubbock. I think it is absolutely whatever coach or source said this to Pete Nakos, if he actually did. It is negative recruiting at Lubbock, like it normally is.
Yeah, but negative recruiting goes on everywhere, right? But in the article,
towards Lubbock or goes on towards other.
Well, don't you think Joey McGuire negatively recruits like Oklahoma State? Oh, you don't want to go there. They were 0-9 last year in Big 12 play. You negatively recruit against the people you're competing against.
Maybe so. I think there are coaches that don't take that approach. I'm not saying Joey McGuire does or does not.
I'm not saying it's the major thing that you go with, but like, oh, what are the schools we're choosing between? We're fighting here. Yeah, well, they've got 3 guys that play your position already. I mean, that happens, right? There's negative recruiting that goes on. You by saying, hey, this is why we're better than them, you're somewhat negatively recruiting.
I think people with a complex negatively recruit, I don't think it goes on everywhere. No, I think it may be about 60% out there, but I don't think it runs that rampant where it's 90 or above. I think people that have something nice or believe in what they have in do recruit to what you have.
Yes, that's the main thing. But when you're competing against somebody else in recruiting, to think that you're not going to say, hey, look at our facility compared to these schools. Ours is the best. Or look at our fan base and how we sell out our crowd and that atmosphere compared to others. Okay? All of those things are somewhat negative recruiting.
Okay.
You're showing your advantages to why you're better than a different school that you're competing against. Okay? Other schools do that with Lubbock's way out in the middle of nowhere, and then they're the ones that they're also the ones that for certain say you don't want to go live in that city. That absolutely is going on. I didn't take the article as the writer was saying that. He's saying that people.
He said his source said this.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't take the writer as saying that. So the writer, in my opinion, was stating things that were said to him. Which
he also used that as the the one quote in his tweet, though. Because he knew Texas Tech fans and others would click on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because of that.
That makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in it for clicks, and he knows that Texas Tech fans will take offense to it and click on it.
Yeah. Now, do I think that Texas Tech, if in similar situations, if you're offered a spot by pick your school, Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, whatever, compared to Texas Tech, do I think that there are times that Texas Tech probably has to pay a little bit more because of the history and tradition of those other schools and the history of winning and all that?
Yeah.
Probably the case.
Oh,
So I have no idea if it's 30% more.
I think that's asinine. I mean, if we're talking $1 million and Texas Tech has to put up, oh, dang it. Why did I math? What's 30% of $1 million, Jamie?
30%.
I guess
Another 300 grand.
1.3, yeah.
Yeah.
Put up that much more.
You think so? That doesn't seem like crazy money to me. So
no, he's saying across the board it's 30%. That's what that quote says. 30% more than anybody. It's not saying against Texas. It's saying I look at it as your peers. I mean, in the Big 12, you think Tech has to put up 30% more to keep you away from TCU? No, get them to campus and they're going to stay.
I wouldn't guess that would be.
Yeah,
the case.
I don't think that. I think 30% average, which is what the quote.
What if it's a Metroplex
implies.
Kid? Maybe it does take
Possibly,
30%.
but I don't think 30% on average. That's asinine.
I have no idea, Choice. I don't know. I can't be so adamant that like you are that's crazy talk because I don't know. I don't know what other schools are offering and how much more we're offering than them.
I think anybody that gets to walk in that facility, I think that's what makes it asinine because it's not like you have poverty you over there on university where it's like
especially now.
We got it.
Especially now.
And that's my point is that's what makes that statement asinine is that 30%. Yeah, right. If you actually get them on campus.
Yeah, but again, if a kid wants to go somewhere where he knows where there's history and a tradition of winning, it may take 30% more.
Yeah, I think there are instances where it could, and that would apply to TCU against Texas, and it would apply to Oklahoma State against Oklahoma, and it would apply lots of other places. But the implication of that quote right there is that because you're in Lubbock, Texas. That's what Pete Nakos wants you to think with that quote, is that because you're in Lubbock, Texas, that you automatically have a 30% hike because of where you're at. It is a negative statement, period, towards Lubbock and towards Texas Tech. And he uses it up front because he knows how people of Lubbock and Texas Tech will take it.
I feel like it's more like the program as a whole compared to other programs than it is about the city and the area. Because you don't have the history that other schools do.
So why do you not have that against TCU then? Because you don't have the history.
TCU doesn't have the history?
No, they don't have the history. Oklahoma State doesn't have the history.
That's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't say that you should have to, at this point, should have to go way above TCU at this point to out bid on somebody against TCU. Now, other schools, sure. Bigger schools with bigger history and tradition, yes, but not TCU. They're closer to an equal.
The truth of all of this, people are sour because Texas Tech is included in a group that they've never been in. Like
I totally agree with that.
With the list that's there of who's spent the most on recruiting.
Yeah, and it's odd. We're the outlier. Everybody expects Texas and in Ohio State to spend that much, but for Texas Tech to do that, it's where do you come off? It's getting to spend that much too. Yeah. That's 100% fair.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for joining us on a Wednesday. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you by Happy State Bank. alongside Jamie Lent. I'm Chois Woodman. Got Brennan Riker across the way taking care of us. We will return to more of your thoughts from the Yates Flooring Center chat line come up here shortly. I also had a little piece about Brian Kelly taking a shot at the Big 12. But first, let's get to a question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, Jamie.
Yes, Choice.
I was trying to decide if I want to go with a negative recruiting question. So I'll ask you that question in a little bit as well. But for this particular question, let's go Big 12. What school, if you could swap out any school in the Big 12 for any other Power 4 school, who would you kick out of the conference and who would you bring in? And you can answer it on the second part of the question, who would be the best fit for the Big 12? So just first part, who would you kick out and who would you bring in? If you got the magic commissioner powers to take anybody in. Just a singular school.
At this point, I would kick out Cincinnati. And I would bring in Louisville.
Interesting. Okay. Brennan.
I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about Louisville just because of geography, and I don't think they really fit in the ACC.
Strong programs, all three major sports. The geography part of it, just to kind of get to that area.
Okay.
I feel like that's a fun brand, and that kind of fits the Big 12 mold.
Yeah. Don't feel like they're overly, like, we're going to run this thing, overly cocky, arrogant, all the above. I think they would fit who we are in the Big 12.
Okay. Who was your kick out, Brennan?
I'll go with a different answer and say Louisville because I thought about it, but I'll try to find something different. I would kick out Utah.
That was my second choice because they don't
want to be here, and that's fine.
They really
if you don't want to be here, go to the Pac-12.
How about they just go, why don't they just go hop in the Pac-12? It's opening back up.
Yeah, go.
That'd be great.
I would pick SMU.
Really?
They may not fit kind of that Big 12 mold, but I like the idea of having another Texas school in the Big 12. They've worked on their brand. They're better at football for what it's worth. The downside to it is there's no baseball. Their basketball brand's not strong.
How do you not have baseball at SMU? I mean, you're in Dallas. Sorry.
But I like the idea of competing with another Texas school in football.
Is it your life's mission to just blot pickleball off the face of the earth?
No.
Just gonna get rid of the sport.
No.
Gonna make it my life's mission. Have y'all seen?
I don't think I could have picked a school that I wanted to add to our conference less than SMU.
I know. That's what I'm like. Yeah, I don't think so. But
I do not want to bring them into
and it's weird because we have Houston in our league. They don't bring anything as far as football. They bring basketball.
And SMU doesn't bring the Dallas market or anything like that.
No, it brings some rich
Texas and A&M and
kids.
Texas Tech have that. TCU, yeah.
I don't know. I'd try to find something different, but I thought Louisville was a great.
We'll stick with your first answer. Just kidding. I mean, if SMU is what you want, that's fine.
I wouldn't mind Missouri. Okay.
Okay.
Just because that's kind of an area of the country again. Okay. Good brand.
Yep.
Okay. Good college football brand. And it would annoy the Jayhawks. So I'm all in favor of annoying every Jayhawk.
You're back in line with where I'm thinking. Not Missouri, but Nebraska is who I would bring in.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good answer.
I like having Colorado back. Prodigal son, whatever, come on back. But Nebraska, I think if it weren't for money, Nebraska would sprint back to the Big 12.
Yeah, probably so.
I think and honestly, it's one of those that while they are not the program they were, they still carry some brand name power, which would be good for the league. And they carry a really good fan base. So Nebraska is who I would bring in. I think I would... I like the thought of having Florida here, Florida in the league, but I think I would get rid of UCF. Cincinnati was my first answer, but...
Yeah, the reason I didn't pick UCF is because I feel like the potential there to add Florida talent to the conference.
Is there anybody that's done less for the league, though? Of the 8 schools that have come in, I think UCF's brought the least to the table so far. Definitely from a competitive standpoint. And they didn't do anything in basketball yet. They were bad in football when they were supposed to be decent.
I think we could probably say the same thing about Cincinnati, though, right?
Probably so.
Yeah.
They were better in basketball. Better, not great. Cincinnati, and...
I would love to just get rid of all 3 of those East Coast teams, to be honest with you.
See, I don't...
West Virginia?
West Virginia, Cincinnati, and UCF. Just go away.
I don't like West Virginia, but their fan base fits in with the Big 12. A very passionate
geography
fan
doesn't,
base.
but
the geography doesn't make any sense. Like, they should be an ACC school. So, I mean, realistically, a swap with Louisville and West Virginia.
Trade them.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Y'all can answer that on the X in the chat line. I could be just fine getting rid of Houston. I think if we ever do morph into any sort of individual contracts when it comes to basketball and separating that, Houston's very valuable there. But as it sits elsewhere, no, they don't. Their fans won't show up for football. I mean, it's called Cougar High for a reason. I don't. Houston's okay to say sayonara to. I mean, it just doesn't draw the ire either as an in-state rival. I think that are they one of those one-sided ones? Do you perceive it that way, where they really don't like Texas Tech at Houston?
Oh, I think so.
And you've
I've
owned
told
them specifically in football?
I've told you before that 2009 trip to Houston to watch the Red Raiders play. And it's not even close. I've never been to a place that was so rude to the opposing fans. I'd never been told to go do something to myself by more 19 and 20-year-old kids that while I'm just walking around. I mean, there were hundreds of students wearing shirts that said blank tech.
Yeah.
And I was in just amazement that the University of Houston let those kids in the stadium. So I definitely think there's a strong hatred for us there.
Boot Utah, bring back the Aggies.
I thought about answering that just because I
it.
think our fan base would enjoy the matchup. It brings out excitement, rivalry, all the above.
What's impossible about these conversations is the money. But if you got to wipe the money part out of it, which, again, fairyland there, I'm not sure A&M wouldn't want to come back. If you got rid of the money part of it, they could say, oh, we could come back and dominate the Big 12. That would definitely be their mindset. And because Texas came into the SEC, they want to get back away from Texas. It wouldn't shock me if Aggie fans were in that.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Appreciate you hanging out with us on a Wednesday. This is The Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, Brennan Riker with you for the next, I'll call it an hour and 15 minutes. You can continue to chime in. If you got any thoughts or comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, we'd love to have them. Right now, it's time for a joke.
It's now time for the dad joke of the day.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, Choice?
I'm really having trouble getting the yoga instructor I hired to leave my house.
It's a bad deal.
Every time I ask him to leave, he says, "Namaste."
I don't know what that means.
You don't? Namaste. I think it's some sort of peace thing. I don't know. That's what yoga instructors say, Jamie. Come on.
Is that what yoga instructors say?
That's exactly what they say. All right, we'll try another one.
I thought they say, Choice, pay me the money.
You do pay me the money. Hey, Jamie.
Yes. Choice?
What happened when Beethoven died?
Oh, man. That seems like one I should get. He didn't breathe anymore.
He started decomposing.
Yeah, I should have got that.
You should have.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough morning. I had to take my pet chameleon to the vet because he can't change color anymore.
It's a bad deal.
He got diagnosed with reptile dysfunction.
It's really not very funny. It's not.
1 for 3, though? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a 333 batting average. All right. What did I say we were going to do here? I had something special for you.
Okay, good.
It was really good. But then I've forgotten since then, so... Thank you. Did you happen to see the entrance for Steve Sarkisian?
I heard
at
about it.
SEC Media Days.
I did not see or hear it, but I heard about it.
So they play the fight songs normally. And they did this at Big 12 Media Days as well, whenever coaches are coming to the mic. And I'm probably going to get crushed by any Aggies out there. I think it's the Aggie War Hymn that they played. Is that what they call it?
I don't know. I just know it was the Aggie song.
It was the Aggie song.
Or an Aggie song.
That they played when Steve Sarkisian walked up to the mic. Now, he didn't.
on that, Aggies?
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, I want to say, like... I want to say, like, it's a mistake. It was a human mistake. You know, don't be bent out of shape about it. At the same time, that's terrible. That's a huge mistake.
That's a massive mistake. But how many times have we seen laziness or lack of attention to detail on a SportsCenter headline or an article where it says Texas A&M quarterback Graham Harrell or this or that? Yeah, like... They're mistakes, but they mean a lot to the fan base.
It's one thing when it's from ESPN. It's an entirely different thing when it's from your own conference.
I agree. This is a whole different level.
The funny part is, good for Sarkisian for just not worrying about it.
Really? I think I would have wanted my coach to say, what's going on with that? Like, just address it.
At least crack a joke.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would have wanted.
Yes. But it would have really bothered... If you flipped it around, it would have really bothered the Aggies.
Oh, my goodness. Worse. Way worse. Yes. Aggie fans are probably like, ha, look what we did.
Yeah.
But if the Longhorn song, "Die to Go Blow Your Horn," was, oh, man. That would have killed. I mean, just killed Aggies if that would have happened. So, yeah, that's a pretty big blunder because it's at the conference Media Days. And I think I'm with you. I want to think it's still a mistake, but I don't know. I think there's people that are petty enough to do that sort of thing.
I would guess it was just a mistake.
That's my guess. But I also don't write it off as impossible that it wasn't a mistake.
But sometimes when people make mistakes, they need to be told, hey, that's a big mistake.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. That mistake cannot be made. That sort of thing. Because
I can remember when my kids were little and one of them would always accidentally hit the other one in the head. Well, it was an accident. I said, I'm sorry. Well, okay, stop being so, focus a a little bit better.
That's the difference in having girls and boys, because
I would accidentally
that's what I'm
hit
saying.
my brother too.
Accidentally, it would be, if it's two boys, it's like roundhouse to the face and just sucker punch. It was an accident.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's 5 accidents in 3 days. Could we have less accidents?
Sorry.
Yeah. I said I'm sorry. Well, sometimes that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
So, if it was Ohio State, the reason it is more believable, if it was Ohio State having the Michigan fight song during it, those aren't really close to each other in order, right?
Yeah.
Or are they? Actually, no, there's a Northwestern in them before that, right?
There is.
I was trying to go in the order. Mm-hmm. Like Texas and A&M, they would be back to back on the playlist, you would think. Mm-hmm. So I get it is possible, but man, that's a big blunder.
That's why you color code your hotkeys.
That's right. Whatever that means. Just kidding. Jamie, how'd you feel about the All-Star game last night?
It was fun.
The finish. Did you stay up or just like me and?
After I got 6-0, I saw the Hank Aaron thing, and then I called it a night.
Did you like the Hank Aaron thing?
That was fun. Yeah, it was cool.
It was neat. Mm-hmm. The whole firework at home plate was pretty cool. Are you okay with the All-Star game ending in a swing off when it's a tie?
Sure. I think fans liked that. Really enjoyed that.
I thought it was. Yeah. It's like shootouts and.
Yeah, we don't need
soccer.
We don't need guys to be extending themselves as pitchers or anything like that. We don't need the managers to have to. Well, I gotta keep 3 guys in case we go 6 extra innings or whatever.
Right.
Now, I mean, in a world where we play with zombie runners in regular season games, a home run derby I'd rather have that to end
in a real game
than zombie runners.
Interesting.
I'd rather have ties than zombie runners.
Don't go French on us, Jamie. You don't have to say stuff like that out loud. People are listening. At least a few of them.
Sorry to disappoint.
Ties? Are you kidding me?
Yes, ties.
No, I said this to Snead earlier, but there was. I mean, I remember how just my heart sank at how dumb it was that they finished the All-Star game in a tie back in 2002. Like, I remember staying up late to watch the finish to that game in 2002. I was 12 years old. And it's like, we're going to do what? We're going to finish this game in a tie? I didn't know what the right solution was back then, but they've found it now, I think.
Yeah, it was so difficult to figure out, hey, let's have a home run derby with 3 guys.
Yeah, let's put some guys at the plate and let them swing off. Everybody's going to love this.
Yeah.
Instead, they overcorrected it into the ditch and decided, hey, we're going to let this game decide the World Series location or who's got home field advantage. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I thought that was pretty good. Someone says, is the home run derby to finish the game? In the home run derby to finish the game, that was great in my opinion. Terrible to be the last American League slot and be the only one to not get at least one home run. Forever in infamy. I don't know if it's strong enough to call it infamy because I can't even remember the guy's name. But who was it? Anybody?
I don't know.
He was a Mariner. That's what I know.
Nobody.
Kyle Schwarber will be remembered for 3 dingers and 3 swings.
Killing it. Yep.
Pretty awesome there. Yeah, fun finish. I think that is absolutely. It's the first time we've gotten to see it. I think it's been implemented since 2022, pardon me. But I think they've nailed that one.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging with us on a Wednesday. Got about 30 minutes left with you. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, Brennan Riker, yours from the First United Bank studio. Keeping us up if you'd like to do so. But Brennan has a very bold, outlandish statement he wants to give us.
Probably.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. We'll talk baseball. Looking at the Texas Rangers right now, after the All-Star break, 48-49. Third place in the AL West, 3.5 games back of the wild card. My tell me I'm wrong statement today is the Rangers at the end of by the end of the regular season will beat out the Seattle Mariners for a spot in the wild card.
How many spots back right now in the wild card?
3.5.
Of the Mariners?
Not of the Mariners per se.
Who is... Here, I'm pulling up the wild card standings. So, wild card standings currently have the Rangers 3.5 back of Seattle. It is Seattle that's the... Oh. How many wild card spots we get nowadays? It's 2? Or is it 3?
3.
3, okay.
3 division winners and 3 wild cards.
Okay, so the Yankees have 1 wild card spot. The Blue Jays are that much ahead of the Yankees? Didn't know that.
2 games?
Wow. Well, I just didn't know that at all. All right, so Yankees have a spot, Red Sox have a spot, and the bottom spot right now is the Mariners. Rangers are 3.5 back of that. The Rays are 1.5 back of the Mariners. It feels like the Astros, man, you're doing a lot of chasing to get to those guys. I absolutely think this is a playoff team with the Rangers. You have too much pitching to not be a playoff team. And I do think the offense has come around a little bit. It's not perfect by any means, and you still have lost some close games late. I mean, the Rangers absolutely should have beat the Astros the other day. In the only game they didn't of that series, Saturday night, I think. So I will agree with you, Brennan. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think they are going to be one of the 3 wild card teams.
I'm going to say that you're wrong because of a few different things, but partly because he said the Rangers were going to beat out the Mariners for the 3rd wild card spot. So that means that Seattle has to be out as the 3rd team and the Rangers have to be in.
Okay.
Seattle can't be the 2. They have to be out.
By the way, he worded it, yes.
Yeah. So I don't think Seattle is a great team. So the Rangers overtaking them, I think, is a possibility. Minnesota scares me a little bit as well.
Minnesota?
KC's been the same team that the Rangers have been, where they just don't score a lot of runs. I think they'll play into this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not act like the Angels are just out of the running because they're a whole half game behind the Rangers.
How's that work? Whole half.
A whole half game.
Yeah. You see the I think the Angels, I think what I look at, Jamie, when you look at a team like the Angels compared to the Rangers and where it will even out in the second half of the season or where they'll go more to their places, the Angels have a minus 62 run differential, and the Rangers are plus 47.
Yeah.
So that's where I think that's not always indicative of a team, but most of the time that is a pretty telling stat over 162 games.
Sure.
Most of the time.
I think with the Mariners, they don't impress me, and they always have a solid start to the season. They'll stay solid all the way up to about August, September, and they fall off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I think if you're the Rangers, you can catch them. I don't know if by catching the Mariners, you're guaranteed a wild card spot like Jamie mentioned, but I think you can beat out the Mariners for a spot in the wild card if it comes down to it.
Yeah, I would guess that Seattle, being that they're not a team that has made the postseason a bunch, to be where they are right now, that they're going to be buyers before the deadline, and they're going to try to make some moves here that is going to improve their team. Yeah. So I'm anxious to see if the Rangers, what they're going to do.
The difference in the Rangers and other good teams out there, right now the Rangers are 14-17 in one-run games. 14-17. Astros are 19-8 in those games. Mm-hmm. Mariners are 19-13. I think you've had so many of those close games that have not gone your way. And a lot of them have been pitching duels that you just can't post any offense. So I guess I'm still a believer, Jamie, that I'm a believer in good starting pitching. That's where my faith in the Rangers is based. Because you still have solid starting pitching. Jacob deGrom has been as advertised. Nathan Eovaldi has been excellent again when he's on the mound, when he's healthy. So I think this is a team that it just feels like you're too good to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, because
in starting pitching.
Because of that starting pitching.
Yes.
Yep.
And hopefully you get some bats have come around. Marcus Semien was abysmal for a while there. He's back to more normal, and Corey Seager's Corey Seager. Adolis Garcia is the one that I feel like maybe your swing guy. If he's good, then it seems like it changes the offense. If he's striking out a ton and just terrible, it's rough. It'd be nice if that Josh Young guy wants to come back up and
contribute,
be his normal self as well.
See, I think for the Rangers, the big difference, no matter how good the offense is down the stretch, can you find ways to win? Because before All-Star, it's just finding ways to lose games, no matter how it goes. You can have great pitching and good enough offense to get by.
Yep.
But the problem is we just never saw that manifest itself very early on, and it's slowly getting to where it looks like you can have that offense to back up the pitching, but the bottom line is you got to be better in tight games, period.
Yeah.
And that has to do with scoring more runs to give yourself more margin for error, and it has to do with your bullpen being better.
Yep, and that's...
Yep.
Bullpen scares me the most right now.
Yep.
I think at this moment it does. Obviously, there was a time where your offense was
because you don't really have a go-to guy.
Gone. Yeah, you don't. And I think if the Rangers get active as far as bringing someone in at the deadline, it's absolutely got to be a bullpen arm. You can go get one bat if you feel like you need it, but a bullpen arm or two.
The problem is the arm you brought in last year at the trade deadline was Andrew Chafin, and that ended horribly.
Yep.
That was
There's nothing that's
awful.
A perfect formula. Someone says, I'm thinking only if the Texas Rangers bring back Josh Young, good vibes to snag a playoff spot. Also asked, did the Rangers have an all-star in Atlanta? Jacob deGrom, but he was not available to pitch. So, unfortunate there.
But by his choice, so.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what? Most of the time I'm like, if you're going to be there, be active. But a guy that's lived through injuries in their career like deGrom does, I'm like, okay. I guess I get it. I understand that perspective. Someone threw out a Las Vegas Aces. Yeah, I didn't mention the Aces, and I think the Los Angeles Sparks are still a thing. I believe that's the case.
Yeah, see, my original tell me I'm wrong statement was going to be Choice knows way too many WNBA teams tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's actually right, yeah. I don't know why. I am a WNBA closet fan, apparently. I'll come out of the closet with it someday.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.